Howdy everybody. Thursday, July 7th. Hope everybody had a great 4th of July. Beautiful day today here in Western Washington. It's warm. It's probably about 1:45. I had some errands to run this morning. Take care of some business, pay union dues, whatnot. Beautiful. Love this sky. So, let's take a look at the weasel. Oh yeah, temperature is probably about, I don't know, 70. So if we look overall at the port side of the weasel, we can see all the wrinkles because of the shadow. I don't know that I'm going to put a whole lot of effort in trying to get that out because I'm not a metal man. You know, where this dent is, there's a hat channel. So I'm not skilled enough to pull that out. And I'll show you the inside where the hat channel is. It's right here. So, you know, there's another nice big dent there. And then you see all the little dimples. Those are the spots where the sheet metal's been spot welded together. Somebody repaired this patch before I got the weasel, and I'm not sure yet if I'm going to cut that out and make it smooth. This is where the rear step was, and I used a pneumatic chisel and tore up the sheet metal, and so I'll cut that out and patch a new, or weld a new patch in, and then we can see this dent right here. And so I got some tools to highlight that I purchased, and it took me about 16 hours using one of these polycarbide paint removing 4.5 inch angle grinder discs. You guys saw that in another video. About 14 layers of paint. So we're going to quickly go around the weasel, and we're going to talk about that real fast. And then this corner looks nice, but it was really hard to see the damage with all the paint on it. And I came around to the starboard bow corner, and you can see there's a pretty appreciable dent here. And I'll try and put the camera inside so you guys can see that dent is in front of that inside hat channel assembly, and I don't know what I'm going to do there. I'll just be spontaneous about it. I don't know what these 4 holes were for, but they do seem to be uniform. Something was there. Those are going to get welded closed. Those aren't supposed to be there. There are some small holes along the edge here. You can see they're not supposed to be there. These 2 holes are from one of these footman loops being torn off. Another hole there, another hole there. Another footman loop was supposed to be there, and then one, I believe, one right here in the back end. Now, the port side doesn't look to be too bad, which is nice. And I don't know if you guys saw on the other video, there was a hole here that was torn, and that was part of the steel wire that was welded to the aft end of the weasel here for the Pioneer tools. An axe, a pick Maddox, and a shovel. And the first tool we're going to highlight is this little gem. Now I knew about these for a while, but I never bought one. Now I'm a fan. Our friends at Harbor Freight did a pretty good job. I removed, there's a safety toggle here on the trigger. I removed that because I tried to use it a few times without it there, and it just makes squeezing the trigger awkward. And that little blade is like a scalpel to 16 gauge metal, and so I like that tool. I'll be using that over here on these repairs here. And then a little while back I was told about a really nice gem, and the auto body boys will know this is a Vixen file, V-I-X-E-N. And I think this is a 14 tooth per inch file. I bought the whole assembly. This is an old cradle or handle. I don't know, maybe you guys can see the name right there, Bonnie F31, I think it is. Love what it says below it, made in USA. Anyway, so I bought this off from eBay from a vendor, and I think it was $35, and then the blade, the new blade was $29, or I should say the new file. The other one was about as sharp as a bowling ball. And what Vixen files are made for is for filing welds and stuff, and I've started welding that, or filing that a little bit. So it takes a little bit of patience, but they work, and they do work very well. So thanks for watching this little bit of a video, and let's get to work. Alright, this handy little tool is a Ket Power Shear. If we have any sheet metal boys in the audience, you'll know what these are. I bought this I think back in 1992 for doing sheet metal work, and you plug it in, of course, 110. It's like a drill motor. This little tooth cycles up and down in between the other teeth, and it's just like a pair of scissors for sheet metal. When I did this portion back here, I wasn't happy with it, and I used the power shear to cut. This is a redo, and to cut this strip of metal out here all the way across, and they worked great. Much easier than trying to do it with than trying to cut this metal with a pair of tin snips. It doesn't distort the steel itself, and less dirty than a cutoff wheel. So this is a good tool to have too, and I'm happy that I've kept this all this time. It was used when I got it too, by the way. So this is an old and it'll cut up to 18 gauge steel. So anything under 18 gauge it'll do, and I think 18 gauge is a little bit thicker than 16th inch or 16 gauge steel, which is what I'm using on the Weasel.